Come on. Well, today I got my 66 up on the lift today, and going to do a few things to it. One thing I need to do is I'm going to have to adjust the carb on it. It's running a little rich. Then over here on this side, going to have to adjust the clutch, and also because my cable's almost all the way out, I'm going to change all the oil. First I need to take all this off, and I hate to do it, I might have to loosen up my rear pipe exhaust to get the primary off, because I can't take the derby cover off to adjust my clutch. Well, while I'm at it, might as well just change all the fluids in it. That, and then check the spark plugs and see how she's doing. Alright. That right there, that's what's on my agenda today. Well, dumbass me forgot to put the card in the camera. I went ahead and loosened up my exhaust pipe and got the primary bolts out. I only got one left holding it on. See what we got. I already drained the oil out of it. There's no metal shavings in there. Oh yeah. I like that number right there. Look at that. Off my chain tension. Broke off. Now if I put my measurement on that from here to here, that should have about 5 or ½ inch to 5/8. When I set that, it was 5/8 of play. So it couldn't be that tight, or that's just an El Cheapo. I got wear mark on it, so it ran for a little while. I guess he must have backfired and said, "You break." Jeez. Loosen that up a little bit. Check out my throwout arm. I'm not resting up to get started on that one. So I'm not. Cool. I can't believe I didn't put that damn card. Well, everything looks good so far, except for that. Think super glue will help. Looks like normal wear. Just got a little gray sheen to it. There's no big sparkles in it. I think that's looking good. I got 1,000 miles on it since I started. Already done my 500 mile oil change. Now I'm doing my 1,000 mile oil change. Then my next one will be, what is it? Another 1,000 miles. After 1,000 miles, it's every 3,000 miles after that. Should be. But, well, this older bike here, it's kind of like on our summer months, you run a good 70 weight because down here it's so hot and dry. And during my winter months, I might drop it down to a 60. Well, that depends on how cold our winter gets, and if I want to ride it during the cold winter months down here, which is maybe a month, 2 months down here. I still can't believe that broke. Because even the book says anywhere between 1/2 inch to 3/4. So I compromised, put it in 5/8. Yep. There you go, cheap ass Taiwan Teds. I just got to call my local Harley shop and see if they got one that I can cross-reference over and put on this old bike. We'll soon find out. We're in luck. I called the local Harley shop. They got one on the shelf that can cross-reference over to the 66. So spend a little bit more money on the Harley part. Maybe it'll last a lot longer. But in the meantime, I told him I'd be there after lunch. Now, I just still got a little ways to go because I got to make a little rounds after lunch anyway. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and change this oil out. The fun part. I like these old funnels with this neck on it, flexible neck, old tin. Squeeze it down. Fits right up underneath just fine. Get my wrench. I don't think it's that. Aha. Oh, really? Let's do it that way. Fill the cup up, put your finger over the hole, let it drain down. Take your finger off, fill it back up. There you go, it caught on. Now sit there and let it drain. This is what I'm going to be using. Straight 60 weight. No synthetic, nothing. Straight 60. Valvoline, VR1. It's pretty good oil. And this one here likes it. Because that's all I got on my shelf right now. Let that drain. I'm going to lift the seat up, pull my oil filter. Get all the oil off my hands. Easy. Yeah, you can say she was black. Let that drip down. Drop-in oil filter cartridge. I like these. I mean, that's what these go for. Comes with an O-ring. So, use your motor oil. Slick it up a little bit on the O-ring itself. So, drop it in. Where am I ready? Oh. Good thing to check your quart. If that's all still all good. Hey, if you know anybody that has the dipstick, I would love to have one. Push it down, turn it till it stops, and you tighten the seal down. Good and snug. Done with the oil filter. Yeah, it's still dripping. Just go ahead and let that drip. There you go. Drain my oil. Alright, I'm back. Now, so when I built this bike, I put an aftermarket replica chain tensioner shoe right here. Okay. And I adjusted this to 5/8. Transmission's all tight down. I mean, it's where it needs to be. Okay. I guess there must be a real bad tight spot in this chain itself. So I guess I rolled it around to find it. Alright, maybe you can, I'm gonna put this tape in here right here so everybody can see. Okay, so the top of the chain right there is almost maybe a 1/16 over. Okay, what I want to do, I set this at a 5/8. Okay, so it should read right there. Let's see. See, right there's the tight spot. So I found the tight spot. It's not going up where it needs to be at 5/8. The book's calling for anywhere between 1/2 inch to 3/4. So I compromised and went 5/8. So, but I found the tight spot in the chain. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna have to get rid of this replica. And I went to my Harley Davidson dealership today, and guess what? They cross-referenced over me a shoe that fit on a 66. So I got to disassemble all this to put my new one on. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is loosen this up. I'll get my oil pan out of the way here. Bear with me. Alright, that's all loose. So now what I got to do now is take my little chisel, because you got a little lock plate right here that holds these two screws on. Try to get that apart. Well, shit. There's one. Okay, there's another one. So what I'm going to do is find me a little round punch. And just spread these out a little bit. That's good. And let me get my rag. Pull it out. Go ahead and inspect your thread. Where's my little flashlight at? Alright, I found my flashlight. So what I'm going to do, inspect my thread, make sure it's not rounded over or anything, so it looks good. It's all nice and clean, not rusted. Cool. There's one. It looks good also. Cool. Now, take the rest of it apart. Don't lose the lock plate. Going to reuse it. Alright, swing that over. Because you don't want to take this screw out completely out of, I don't know if you can see it, but see that little back here? That's what holds it on the back side. So you don't want to completely take that screw completely out, because it's a booger trying to get that threaded back into that, because that's going to fall completely down there. It's going to take about 3 hands to do it. So lift that up, pull my shoe out. So that's the way it looked. You know what? When I put this damn thing in, I might have had it backwards. It's not every day you get to work on a 66 Harley. But there we go. So we're going to put this in that way. Raise that up, slide that up underneath, take our screws. No need to Loctite them because this is going to be an oil anyway, and that's why the lock tabs are in. So let's see if we can't get this started. I felt like one, there's two. The oil off my hinge. Oh, you know what I did? I got excited to put a new one on. Yep, y'all guessed it. The lock plate. Let me clean it off a little bit. Alright, now get the fuzz off of it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, instead of 5/8, I'm going to try to put it around maybe 13/16, 9/16. Well, no, not 9/16, about 13/16, 11/16. So good thing is, fine little increments on right here. So I'm just going to tighten down by hand. And just get a little light snug. Alright, so it's going to stay. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure the slop. I'm going to put this tape back on there for you. Alright. Because right now, sitting right here, I'm going to guesstimate sitting here 1 13/16. Right, that's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. Yep, y'all see that, right? I hope you do. Alright, where this chain is sitting at, well, it's kind of hard to do. Alright, since it goes this way and the chain's running this way, that plate right there, just a little over 1 1/4 or a little under 1 1/4 to 1 3/16. So I'm going to go at 1 3/16. I'm going to raise it up every 1/8 of an inch. So there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4. Push on it, there's 5. Guess what? We're there on the tight spot. I'm going to put a little bit more pressure on this one. Alright, just to hold that one in spot. Now, I can go ahead and torque these down. You know, you have to watch it because they're fine thread. They're only, what, maybe 12 to 15 threads on it to begin with. Make sure this is all perpendicular. No sense to be a gorilla on it because you got lock tabs on it. You get it good and snug, and what you want to do is try to put a flat where that lock is at. Alright, right there. A little bit more. Let's go one more half turn. Just a hair more. Right there. Now, see where that flat is at? The flat on the screw. Now I can take that lock plate, fold it over. Now just do the same with that one. It's pretty well snug. Give it one more flat. Just a hair more. There. There. Now that flat right there, I could fold that over. What I like to do is use a pair of little small channel locks where I can just stick it on that flat on that side of the nut screw, take it, squeeze it, and just roll it over. See how I done that? Let's do this other side. Grab a hold of it, squeeze, and just keep getting another bite, and just roll that over. Now since we've done that, what I like to do now, I like to take just a small punch, go there, just give a good, just a little tap just to seat it. Make sure we get a good little seat on this side also. Ta-da! Now, how to replace a primary shoe and adjust your chain. Find your tight side. I recommend that. Find your tight side, then measure your slop. On my 1966, the book states from 1/2 inch to 3/4 slop that they recommend. Okay? Well, those are basically brand new clutches. The brand new spring I put off in here. Everything's fine. I got maybe listed a little over 1,000 miles on this rebuild. Okay, even a new chain. Find your tight side and just compromise. You know, I went 5/8. That's perfect. On the tight spot on that chain. Got a new shoe. Got rid of that old cheap replica, and I finally got me a good Harley part. Paid for it, but I got me a Harley part. There you go. Now all I got to do now is finish changing my oil out, put a hose on my sump over there, and so where I turn the motor over, it dumps whatever's in the crankcase into the waste bucket. All right, later.